Hi everyone, my name is Eva. My company is Nourish Yoga and Wellness. I wanted to share a few stretches today, a few movements, some breathing, things that can kind of help us deal with the tightness that we might have in our body or the unsettled feeling that we might have in our mind sometimes when we get too involved in scrolling through Facebook or watching a lot of news. And just remembering that if we can move and breathe, we can calm ourselves and manage life's challenges more easily. I wanted to share a little thing today. I use this in my classes sometimes. It's a snow globe and it's way out of season, of course. It's a gift from one of my students. But this snow that you see floating around, it can be pretty, but if that's happening in your mind, it's not so pretty. Especially if it's about 2:30 in the morning and you really can't get to sleep. So let's kind of work on how we can get that snow to settle and in our own bodies, our minds to be more comfortable so that we can manage life's challenges a little more easily. So we're going to start out with a few cleansing breaths. This is a short video, just so make it a little manageable. So we'll start with a few deep breaths, and you can simply just take a deeper breath in through the nose and then open the mouth and a big sigh. Let's do 2 more of those. Inhale and exhale. 1 more. Inhale and exhale. Good. Just noticing that simply taking those breaths can make a big difference if you only have a few seconds. You can sit all the way back if you'd like and get a little bit comfortable. And just close your eyes for a moment just to check in and see how you're feeling today. If your mind is still swimming, still full of snowflakes, just bring it to the 5 senses, Noticing what you can see and smell, hear, taste, and feel. For example, in my room, I have a ceiling fan going and that little breeze feels pretty good. Here in South Florida, it's pretty hot today. And when you're ready, gently open the eyes. Good. We're going to find a little bit of movement here. Sitting up a little away from the back of your chair. If you're in a chair, if you're on this mat, kind of make sure that you're sitting a little tall here. You tend to slouch, and we're going to go ahead and sit a little taller here. Good. And we'll take those cleansing breaths again. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, roll them back and down. Good. And imagine the inhale, we're gathering, maybe even drawing some fists, gathering that tension. And a big sigh. Let it go. 1 more. Inhale and exhale. Good. Letting the shoulders, sometimes we feel our tension right here through the shoulders and up through the neck. Allow yourself wiggle side to side. Just observing how that feels. Where do you feel this? You can always take your feet a little wider. Good. And if you want, you can circle, bringing your torso forward and around and back. Good. After a few times around one direction, reverse and go the other direction. Keep the breath going. The most important thing you can do is simply to notice your breath and keep it moving a little deeper than you normally do. And the second thing is, remember, if you have any pain in anything that we're doing today, simply skip it or modify it. I'll try to give you some suggestions. We'll come back to neutral. And we'll find a little bit of that movement through the neck too. Gently taking your nose and drawing a small little O, especially if you have any neck issues. You can keep it really tiny. And then if you are comfortable, you can begin to spiral that out a little bit bigger. You might hear some pops and clicks. It's pretty normal. Unless it's painful, it's okay. And then pausing and then reversing other direction. Drawing that little letter O with your nose. And then getting bigger. Good. And then bring the head back to stillness. I probably do that several times a day. And then we'll start get the shoulders involved. So inhaling, shoulders up and back and down, continuing. You can always add the arm movement if that feels good. And almost like you're doing a little backstroke here. And if you want, you can swim forward. Good. All right, and then releasing that down. Wiggling fingers. Open and close the hands. Spreading out the fingers wide, making like fists. Good. And circling through the wrist with fists. Spread the fingers wide, circle other direction. Good. And then relax the arms back down. All right, begin to move through the spine. So again, if you're sitting on the mat, on the ground, your legs may be crossed. You might have your legs extended in front of you, whatever feels comfortable. If you're in a chair, you can take your feet a little bit wider. We're going to move through some side stretches. I have a little bit of an injury on my left shoulder, so I'm going to demonstrate what you would do if this shoulder doesn't want to raise up very high. You can just bring your hand to your shoulder, and the left hand, could be on your lap or off to the side. Good, so inhale and lengthen through that right side of the body. You can lift the elbow or the whole arm, and exhale, bring it back down. We're going to go a couple more times. Inhale, lifting, raising just a little more. Exhale. And then again, inhale. This time hold, but keep breathing. Oh, just really opening that right side of the body. And then releasing down. We'll go same thing on the other side. Left hand can stay here, or if you're okay with extending the arm, inhaling as you lengthen through that left side of the body, inhaling, and then exhaling, reaching over to the right side. Good, flowing in and out, inhale, back up. Go with your own breath, your own pace. Exhale over. Inhale up. Exhale over. Inhale. This time as you exhale, hold, keep breathing. Good, and then using that arm to bring you back up, back to our seated position. Finding a little twist. The easiest version is hands across the chest. You can start with taking a little twist to the right here, and center, and then to the left. Good, coming back to center. You can keep this. You can stack your arms, twisting to the right, and back to center, and then to the left, and back to center. So there's a lot of variations. If you want to try cactus pose, try drawing those elbows back, but keeping the shoulders relaxed, inhaling here, and exhaling, twisting to the right. Inhale back to center, exhale, twist to the left. Good, and come back to center. Now take that left hand over to the right thigh or knee, and the right hand can just rest by your side. Inhale, lengthen up through your spine, and then we're going to find a twist starting from the waist, then the chest, the shoulder, and the head. The left hand can give you a little bit of leverage here, but resist the urge to pull yourself into that twist. Take 2 breaths here. Let the hips settle if they're trying to do the work. When you're ready to release, turn your head forward, lift the arms, and then unwind the twist. Good, really basic movements that can really help you feel better. And then as we twist to the left, we're going to take that right hand over to the left leg, and then the left hand is just alongside the hips. Inhale as you lengthen here. Exhale, gently twisting from the waist up through the chest, down the shoulders, then the neck. Taking 2 more breaths. And then again, to release, head comes forward, arms lift, come back to center. Good. If it feels good, reach up nice and tall, wiggling a little more right and left. Good. And then release it all down. Nice. Good. All right. So that was 2 different spinal movements, a side-to-side movement, lateral stretch, a twist. We did a lengthening of the spine too. And now here's another one, and this is probably one of my very favorite ones because it can be done in so many different ways. I'm going to turn sideways so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. It's called cat and cow, and it's an arching of the spine and then a rounding of the spine. So as we inhale, shoulders roll back and down, chest comes forward, and even your tailbone tilts back if that feels okay. Good. And then as we exhale, we're going to do the opposite, tucking the tailbone, tucking the shoulder and the chin, rolling the shoulders forward, arching our back like a cat. And we'll continue inhaling in a flow, taking the shoulders back, looking up, and exhale round. One more variation, or one more round here, and then I'll show you a different variation. Good. And then coming back to center, so I'm going to show you a variation I like. And here in Florida, we have this bird, I think it's called the anhinga, and they like to dive into water, and I think that's how they fish and get their food. Then when they come back out, they're drying their wings. Anhinga and a cormorant, I think it is. They're drying their wings while they're out in the tree. So I like to think of that. So inhaling, this time the chest comes forward, the arms reach back, the palms are facing forward, and you can look up here. Good. And then exhale, we're going to round and then hug a tree. Imagine you're hugging a tree. Inhale, dry your wings. Exhale, hug a tree. Last one, inhale and exhale. Good. Releasing the hands back. Good. Letting yourself rest. If you need to rest, you can sit back in your chair. Let the back of the chair support you and just take a little breath. Beautiful. So I'm looking at my notes here, just seeing what I wanted to cover today. I wanted to keep it really simple because I'm just trying this out for the first time. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe I can do a few more videos while I'm at it. So one more thing. We haven't done too much for the hips. And let's go ahead and let me show you a couple things you can do. While you're seated in your chair, take your legs wide and bring the knees in and out. If you're on the mat, you can also bring your feet onto the mat, lean back, and then bring your knees in and out, okay? So it's just a different variation of that. Maybe I'll show a separate video for mat. Good. So we're kind of finding a little bit of movement through the hips. So these are for us couch potatoes who've been watching Netflix for too long. Good. And then bring it in. And then take that right leg, lift it up. See if you can draw it in while you're still keeping a nice long spine, not really rounding, but sitting up tall. If this feels good, stay here. If you want to bring the hands across the shin, you can. I'm going to back it up so you can see what's going on with my feet. So as the leg comes up, you can start to point and flex the toes here. Showing some love to the ankles and the toes. And then circle the ankle out. And then reverse. If this is not accessible for you, it's always okay to just hold on to your pants and lift the leg to whatever point you can. Good. I'm going to relax that leg down, shake it out. And then left side. Again, here, here, or even just holding on and lifting the leg. We'll move the ankle here, point and flex. Good, and circle. Reverse. We're trying to go through all of the joints of the body today, showing some love. Relaxing that leg, shake out again. A little bit of a Charleston move if that feels good. It's kind of fun, especially if you have the right music. One more thing I forgot to share earlier is a cross-body motion that can feel really good. And that's finding our nice seated pose. Can't even say it right. Nice lengthening through the spine, a good posture pose. Good. And if we can, we're going to lean forward, keeping our hands on the thighs, belly drawn in to protect the low back. If this doesn't feel good, then just come back to upright. All right, and then we're going to take that right arm and reach across, stretching it out, and then back to center. And then left arm reaches across, back to center. This time as the right arm reaches across, we're going to imagine drawing a rainbow. Inhale, right arm reaches up. And then left arm reaches across. Good. And again. All the way down, maybe looking for that pot of gold over there. Last time, right arm reaches across. And then this time, imagining a table full of junk, we're clearing it all off. Good. Same thing, left arm. And then we're clearing that off. Good. And then come back to center. A nice thing that can feel really good after all of that movement that we've done, and especially if you have any lower back issues, is simply to bring your hands to your thighs and then just lean forward. So you can keep your hands here. You can bring your elbows down like in a football huddle. And if you're finding you can go a little further, you can bring your belly closer to your thighs and bring your hands to your shins. So wherever you are, start to just notice what you feel and let your head relax, maybe shaking it yes and no. Maybe rocking side to side. Good. Bring your hands back to your thighs to release. Scoop the belly in and slowly roll back up. Good. And then finally, tapping out through the feet. Maybe stomping. Maybe throwing a fit like you're having a tantrum. Why not? Release all that frustration. Let it go. Letting go of all of that excess energy that has had nowhere to go. And then just let it go. Release. Good. Finally, sitting back in your chair. If you're on your mat, you can lay back. And simply enjoy. Maybe you feel some tingling from the movement that we did earlier. But visualize that snow globe, and maybe you have your own snow globe. Check in with your thoughts. Is your snow globe and your brain like that snow globe with the snow floating around? If it is, try to imagine yourself with that scenery in the snow globe, taking yourself into it, and watching the snow settle down, observing the shape of the globe, the size of the globe, how the water might be really clear or cloudy. Let your breath just come to a natural pace. And if you happen to have a musical snow globe and can even imagine that, you can just imagine the music that plays. Maybe it's a really beautiful, uplifting melody. So just feel everything that touches the ground in the chair. Sinking, settling. But the breath just moves. So you can stay here as long as you'd like. Another minute or 5 minutes or an hour, whatever you like. But if you're ready to move on, gently open your eyes. Let some movement come back in. Fingers, toes, head, whatever feels good. Maybe we take one more big breath as we stretch out the arms. And exhale, release them back down. Good. Turn your palms up, noticing how you feel. And it may be, if you're not quite where you'd like to be, imagine that in the palm of your hands is the right energy, a calming energy, but also joyful, ready to handle anything that comes at you. Bring your hands together in front of your heart as if you can seal that in and keep it with you. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. The light in me sees and honors the beautiful light in each of you. Namaste. Thanks, everybody.